𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙬𝙙𝙙 𝙪𝙾𝙪𝙣𝙠. Greetings to all Irish people around the globe. On this very unusual St. Patrick's Day, a day when we would usually be having parades in 𝙒𝙗, the beach in Duncannon, 𝙾𝙪𝙣𝙤 and 𝙾𝙪𝙣𝙗. But I'm delighted to welcome you to our festivities today, which have been funded by Creative Ireland and Wexford County Council. It's been a very difficult year for everyone, some more than others, but I hope today that you get the chance to sit back and relax with those around you and enjoy the festivities. Having seen in advance some of the videos, I am amazed at the wealth of talent we have in our district, from singers, musicians, dancers and storytellers, as well as groups that show amazing community spirit. Hang in there. Hopefully next year we'll be back to normal. The video will be sent to our twin towns and friendship towns, and I hope you will share it too with your friends and family abroad, so that those near and far will see what we have to offer in the most incredible scenery, monuments and historic buildings and all that we have in our district. I'm very proud to hold the position of Chairman of the 𝙒𝙗 Municipal District. Over the last year we've been making progress on numerous projects, from the Southeast Greenway to High Hill Park, a new playground in Pearse Park, work on laneways in 𝙒𝙗, a new fire station is on the way, new trails from the Quay to Kelly's Wood, and the continuation of the Ballyhack to Duncannon Trail. The oil storage tanks in 𝙒𝙗 will soon be removed. The old grain store in John Street is to be developed into a high-quality enterprise hub. An advanced factory has been built in Butler's Land, and new visitor centres being developed in Hook Lighthouse and the Norman Visitor Centre in 𝙒𝙗 are underway. So exciting times ahead. As you can see Tintern Abbey behind me, Tintern has been one of the busier places this year, as people getting out for a walk or run or a breath of fresh air. So it just leaves me to wish my brother Pat and his family in Australia all the best for St. Patrick's Day, and indeed anyone from the parish of Tintern scattered around the world, and all the people from the district, some who can't travel to be with us. We'll raise a glass and hope to see you soon. 𝙒𝙪𝙣𝙤𝙪𝙣𝙩. Have a happy and safe St. Patrick's Day and enjoy the proceedings.
As the parade chairman, this year is an unusual late start for me, as normally we'd be up and at this stage. But I'm delighted to be taking part in today's video and to see all of you also taking part who would normally participate in our parade. I'm looking forward to being back on the streets for 2022, and please God we'll be back to normal. 𝙒𝙪𝙣𝙤𝙪𝙣𝙩. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
So enjoy all that we have to offer, enjoy the company of our people, enjoy the company of your family, be safe and have a happy St. Patrick's Day.
In 𝙒𝙗 Municipal District we have wonderful musicians, dancers and storytellers, and we look forward to the day when we can attend our local theatre and other venues to enjoy the shows and concerts we have missed so much. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
My name is Councillor John Fleming. I'm here in Secret Valley Wildlife Park and Zoo, just outside of 𝙾𝙪𝙣𝙙𝙤 village. Unfortunately this year our parade has been cancelled, as it has been in Campile, 𝙾𝙪𝙣𝙤𝙤, Duncannon and 𝙒𝙗. As a member of the Parades Committee here in 𝙾𝙪𝙣𝙙, I'd like to pay a tribute to all committee members throughout the village for their hard work, their effort and their planning in putting these parades together. I hope that this year that they can relax and enjoy the festivities, and that next year our parades will be back bigger, stronger and better than ever. So my message is happy St. Patrick's Day and stay safe.
Hope you enjoyed today's video and our national holiday, and hopefully this time next year we can celebrate healthily together. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day!
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 Happy St. Patrick's Day! Happy St. Patrick's Day! Happy St. Patrick's Day!
Happy St. Patrick's Day!
Happy St. Patrick's Day!
Happy St. Patrick's Day!
Happy St. Patrick's Day! Welcome to the St. Patrick's Day Parade, 𝙒𝙗.
What I love about St. Patrick's Day is it's unique to us, the Irish, but it's celebrated throughout the world. Only yesterday, I think it was, I read about in Norway, they're going to put an Irish flag on the highest mountain in Norway this year for St. Patrick's Day. And as everybody knows, the Great Wall of China is green all over the world, New Zealand, the whole world, like, you know. So for a little country like us, we're recognised throughout the world on our special day, which is St. Patrick's Day. And that's in itself speaks volumes for our country and us as a people.
I love everything about it. Well, I used to love most of all the pub afterwards. You know, we'd all go down for the Irish coffee. Beautiful. And I'd have a session then that night in 𝙤𝙧𝙤𝙬 with the band.
What I love about Patrick's Day is the fun, the colour, the music. To see people on the streets enjoying themselves. On both sides of the streets as the parade passes by. Hail, rain or snow, we did it, we walked it, and we did. I have to say we did. And they were very special to me.
To be part of it was, it was like for a young lad of 10 or 11 years of age, it was great, you know. Then the next year or two after that, then we had to travel on the back of Mackey Ryan's lorry. So Mackey had a coal lorry back in the day, famous coal man in the town, and we used to play the Irish music on the back of the coal lorry then, and that was very exciting now back in the day with bad suspensions and bad roads and going around corners and trying to sit on a stool and try and play accordion. And also Joan Power had our dancing troupe on the back of the lorry, so it was really enjoyable, you know.
From being very young, going downtown and joining in the parade and being part of the parade was always great fun, you know. I've also been to America with the New Ross District Pipe Band to perform and take part in America, and also in the St. Patrick's Day Parade in London. But my favourite place, of course, is here in New Ross, where we have all the bands, all the clubs, vintage cars, vintage tractors.
You know, I love the vintage cars too, looking at them. I was mad about big cars. I always had a big car. I drove a Zephyr, a Zodiac. The only thing I didn't ever got is a Mercedes.
Well, the favourite part would have been the parades. Obviously the brass band was out and the pipe band was out. And everybody had their shamrock in those days, you know, and it was a sort of an honour and a privilege to wear your shamrock, and it showed the fact, as I said already, that we're Irish, you know. And it was a great day, and there was a hymn we used to sing when I was going to school. I've never heard it since I've been to school. It was a hymn about St. Patrick, which went, "Hail glorious St. Patrick, dear saint of our isle, on us thy poor children bestow a sweet smile. And now thou art high in thy mansion above, on Ardenn's green valley, look down with your love." And I've never heard it since I went to school.
I loved parading. I loved being in it. With the organisations I was with, and with the pipe band, and with the FCA. And to watch the families, the kids, they were my best part. The colour, the music, the night on the streets. I mean, it was very special.
No, going up to the Three Bullet Gate there and watching that time the grandchildren, waving to them. And Mary was saying, "Look at them there, they don't look at them." Adam, and all the grandchildren, they'd be waving on the way down. You said something about having a suggestion for a float. Well, we already had it. That was one great St. Patrick's Day. The jazz band up on the float playing the whole bit out in the Irish town. It was really smashing. Everyone enjoyed it.
Oh, my own float would have to be about the Three Bullet Gate where we are now, because it being so important in our town, you know. As I said, where we are right now is where Taoiseach have spoken, and 1798 commemorations, pikemen, and it's a pretty special place from our history point of view.
Well, I was often thinking about it. I never got around to it because unfortunately this time of the year is very busy for me. But I would love to make up a float of the foundry here and, you know, make up a little furnace, like, you know, and you could have coloured water maybe as the metal and, you know, make a little mould on a flat bed, you know. And that was something I was always wanting to do, but never got around to doing it.
What would I put on it? Plenty of colour, plenty of music. Oh, as much as you possibly can. The more colour, the more fun, the more comedy even. It's all part of Paddy's Day. And that's what I'd be doing.
The crack and the laugh.
The crack and the laugh.
I don't know, it's something I never thought about. You know, it's not something that comes to your mind straight away. But I'm sure I would come up with something elaborate, you know, and impressive.
Yeah, well, in the earlier years, we used to play a bit of music with Ted and the Pasadena Jazz Band, you know. And yeah, when JJ had the Court Arms, it was a lively spot now, because you were down in the town and they were getting the crowd from the parade, you know. And it was hard to kind of play the jazz kind of stuff because lads were very patriotic about Patrick's Day and they get a few drinks and they want to be singing Boule of Vogue and all that ballad stuff. But yeah, it was really enjoyable, yeah.
No, it was great though. All the old ladies loved my music. They all around me in the front of me. Poor Mrs. Up in Abbeyview, Malone, she called me Maestro. Getting Slasher Powers, we call him, Seamus, inviting us into the house for the Irish coffees as well. And my wife getting on to me, they don't drink too much of them now. You're not supposed to be drinking too much of them. Sure, I drink them as long as he kept coming.
It became a tradition in the house. Like that was, I suppose, the early 80s. And every year then after that then, I avoided kind of taking part in the parade because the family used to come and the parade used to pass by the house, so you were there. So then after the first year or two, I decided then that should we make a few Irish coffees given out to people in the parade. So then for up to the time we finished there 2 years ago, unfortunately with the pandemic, I used to get a whole heap of plastic cups and a couple of bottles of Jameson, and we used to make trays of coffees and leave them out to the lads. So, and Ted St. Ledger was one of them. Poor old Ted now for the last couple of years has been confined to a wheelchair. But Ted would always come up and he'd stop and we'd have the Irish coffee and a bit of chat about the parades of the years and all that. So that became a good tradition now over the last few years.
Well, Seamus Power used to look after St. Patrick's Day and we really looked forward to it. And the hot coffees, Irish coffees. That was it. Thank you, Seamus.
But in the beginning we had 2 pipe bands. The FCA pipe band, of course, then the New Ross District pipe band came into it, and the Holy Confraternity band, brass band. And that was colour alone, never mind the sound of music. But to have all our clubs participating, but like from the Gerlines to the Camogie to the rowing clubs, to every club that we had in our town participated. That time we used to have rigid trucks, not really Arctics that we have now. You imagine going around the town in a rigid with music playing and you're going over these car bumps and the fellas falling all over the place in the back of the trailer. I mean, they were freaking wonderful things. They were top class, you know. And you hear the guys afterwards at the parade and they tell you, Victor, don't ever do that to me again. But, you know, we all laughed at it. You know, they had fantastic times. And
it was a day off school, obviously. It was our national holiday and we got dressed up and our shamrock, of course. And as I said, a day off from school, and then we were waiting for the afternoon for the parades to come along, and that was a great thing to see the brass band out and the pipe band out, because it always gave me a thrill when I heard the bands. I just loved them, you know.
Well, my favourite part in the parade, when I wasn't comparing or that, would be helping to get a really decent float, to try and get the best float in the New Ross St. Patrick's Day parade. That would be the ultimate.
I gave most of my life in parades, either participating or organising. I was chairman of it. I've done it many years, but it was an honour to be part of it. You know, and the people of New Ross did not let us down. They participated, they gave us every support we could possibly get. The town council, very, very good. They looked after our assurance at the time, they looked after, gave us funding and gave us so much help. The Garda presence was just unreal what they did for us. The civil defence, you know, they all participated. And without that, it just couldn't happen, you know.
Well, yeah, in the later years, well, it was taking part really was the most enjoyable part of the parade, you know, even though it was enjoyable for the family occasion afterwards. But like as probably everyone knows, that I've been involved in pantomime now for more years than I can remember, you know. Like my first pantomime was back in the early 80s, and we used to go to pantomime like since I was that height, like, you know. But I actually dressed up a couple of times in pantomime costumes, you know, and my sister Angela was on the committee the last couple of years as well, and they dressed up and stuff like that. So that was, you know, a bit different. I remember we done Goldilocks and the Three Bears one year, and I dressed up as Baby Bear, and everyone was kind of laughing at me getting the Baby Bear costume, you know. But when the parade started, it was absolutely freezing, which it mostly is of a Patrick's Day, and I was snug as a bug in the rug in the Baby Bear costume, lovely furry costume. And the parade went past off lovely, and everyone else was freezing.
A few years ago, I was delighted with my other half, Maureen, to be the Grand Marshal, which was a great privilege to be asked to be Grand Marshal, which was great. And yeah, that was sort of a very important day in our lives, you know.
Biggest thing now was to get the Marshal job. You know, the St. Patrick's Day Marshal, to get that. That was a wonderful thing to get.
Well, my late brother Jimmy, everybody knew Jimmy in town. He was always the leader of the Scouts. And everybody remembers him carrying the flag. Hail, rain or snow, wind, heavy gust winds, it didn't matter to Jimmy. That was his joy. He loved it every year, like he did in the pantomime. You know, he just, if he was sick, he'd get out of the bed to come out and do this. He was that into it. And those memories, they were special.
Yeah, well, Patrick's Day for the last few years has been kind of different, because now I have two nieces. One is in Los Angeles in America, and the other, Jane, is in Perth in Western Australia. And I have cousins in all over Australia as well. So it's a bit different now, because thanks to God to Facebook and Messenger, stuff like that, you can share pictures and share experiences of Patrick's Day. So I suppose to all my family that's abroad, cousins abroad, I'd like to wish them all a very happy Patrick's Day.
Just to get out and be march with it if you can, or if not, just get out and support it and give them all a good cheer.
As a nation and a people, we're unique throughout the world, and it's a great honour to us as a nation and Irish people, you know, and just shows you how well we're regarded throughout the world and respected, you know.
That I think St. Patrick, considering he arrived here in 431, it's amazing how all these years afterwards that he's still able to make an impact worldwide. It's just incredible when you think about parades literally all over the world, everywhere. Amazing.
Those memories from the past, brought to you by Gentlemen of New Ross, really makes me feel young. But these guys always make me feel young. It's the wonderful 𝙂𝙧𝙤𝙤𝙤.
yesteryear as I think of what lays in store. I curse the tyrants that we must obey. That means we can't kiss anymore. I wish every day that I could have stayed on Ireland's green shamrock shore. In grass we would lay on summer days, and I'd take your hand in mine, and the sun in its grace would shine on your face to light up the love in my heart. And when you would sleep, the clouds they would peep to see their angel once more. And I wish I could see my angel again on Ireland's green shamrock shore. And now as we sail, I listen to tales of the land that we now call home. It's the land of the free, there's no tyranny, no hunger, no hearts made of stone. Our spirits burn bright as each day turns to night, and we sing to the ocean's loud roar. But in my mind's eye, I see your face, then I cry for Ireland's green shamrock shore. Hey! Wipe the tears from your eyes, and I stepped aboard the ship. And the crowds on the quay cried in sad unity for their loved ones on this dangerous trip. My parents and friends didn't wait till the end till I could see them no more. And my heart, it will burn until I return to Ireland's green shamrock shore. And my heart, it will burn until I return to Ireland's green shamrock shore. And my heart, it will burn until I return to Ireland's green shamrock shore. Until I return to Ireland's green shamrock shore.
Wow, what a performance from the 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙤. There's something very special about rock stars wearing kilts. Now, at the heart of every parade are classic cars, and to tell us more, the enthusiasts behind it.
Hi, I'm David Quigley. This is Sam Quigley.
Hello.
And what have we got car here today, Sam? What have we got?
BMW M3 E30.
2.3 litre engine, 1990 year registration.
So my name is Margot Doyle, and these are my two cars. So this is the Honda Prelude. We have it dressed up as a DeLorean, just for something totally different. And then behind me is the S2000, which are becoming very, very rare.
My name is David Byrne. Behind me here is a 89 Peugeot 205 GTI.
Hello, hi, I am 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙘𝙩𝙘, chairman of the Wexford Sports and Classic Car Club. And the car behind me is a 1968 Volkswagen Beetle.
Hi, I'm Mark Hewlett from the 𝘾𝙤𝙪𝙣𝙠 Gardens, and this is my Austin 7 1934 a model.
My name is Peter Murphy, and that's my 1973 Opel Manta ASR.
The thing I love most about classic cars is they're actually so simple to look after. There's no such things as chips or other mechanisms. You can get right underneath the bonnet, as you can see. It's really easy to open. It's probably easier to repair than a lawnmower because there's so little actually in it.
I suppose this car was 1990 and I was born in 83, so I was into cars since I was Sam's age, and kind of it's a car that I would have been looking at and admiring when I was small and would have wanted one and liked one, and I suppose when I got older then I said, well sure, I'll get one.
Basically my interest goes back for years. My dad always had interest in vintage tractors with him, but cars more my end of it, so it was always in the family, and I'm the youngest of 7, so everyone had older cars, and it's just one of those things I just got into over the years, and it's a great interest to have, and a great bunch of guys involved with them, and everybody loves going out to meet and having a bit of crack and a few mugs of tea and the odd pint here and there, and you know, all in all it's good fun, and that's my basic interest in it anyway. So
unfortunately or fortunately, it is for life. It's a bit of a drug having classic cars. You start off with one and you could end up with 20. The other cars would be a Porsche 911, a Mark 1 XR2 Fiesta and a 205 GTI. I have to say the Porsche is probably the nicest one, but I do have a passion for the Ford Fiesta XR2, as I had one when I was a lot younger, and I have one again. The very rare car. There was 3,000 of them built. I think there's probably maybe 200 of them left. So,
what I like about them yokes is, well, first of all, I sold them in the 1980s. I had older ones than that now before this car, back in the game for a long time. They're all individual. I mean, if you that time see a car coming down the road, you knew a mile away whether it was Ford, an Opel, a Vauxhall, a Peugeot, a BMC or whatever. Nowadays you don't, you know. And the other thing about them, they're so, I know how mechanically minded now, but they are so simple and straightforward for people to work on. You know, you have an engine, a gearbox, and a back axle, and you have no other than points and plugs and condensers. You have no, you know, you have no fancy electrics.
I suppose the favourite feature on this is the boxy shape to it. They just don't make cars like it anymore. Beefed out wings.
My favourite part of say this is boxy.
The boxy look to it, isn't it?
Nice and it has really nice comfy seats.
It goes quite good as well. It's nice to drive. It's fairly fast for a 30-year-old car.
Yeah, it's a nice car to be driving on a Sunday afternoon. Nice sunroof in it.
Well, I suppose the fun story I would have about the Honda Prelude is the guy that was driving it in the parade the last time was so excited because the car got so much attention, he wasn't watching the fact that the car was starting to overheat. So as a result then we were in a little bit of bother, but no, it's fine now, everything is good, she's fine.
My favourite memory with the car would have been being in it with my step-grandfather. He was quite an eccentric character. He used to have a little taper, a little plait down the back of his neck, but we're talking about 1970, 1980. And because he was of Scottish descent, he wore shorts the whole time, even if it was 2 inches in snow. And he used to come and collect me from school, and you never knew what time he was going to arrive, because he had this great ability to make his own parts. So when we had this engine stripped down and I inherited it from him, nobody could believe that the engine was actually and had been running. They knew it had, because they could see that it had all the mechanism, but they've never seen such incredible use of old baked bean tins, sardine cans, and goodness knows what else to keep the thing going. So as I say, he was quite entrepreneurial and quite a character, but you never knew if he was going to arrive on time or he'd be underneath mending something along the way.
Oh, great fun story. The only thing interesting about it is that I do a lot. I go to all the local shows, cars and coffees and all that, and I do a lot of other runs. We were going to Kilbrony, the alternator packed up, and I had borrowed one. It was a little dodgy off of it. Well, I got one for the car, but when it come to me the night before, it was the wrong one. But anyway, we brought it, and we were in Kilbrony, and about 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the evening, one of the lads rang me, because it's a big show and you split up, and he said, I think there's alternator for your car on the stand up here. So back down and looked at the car and went back up, and man had an alternator, and we asked him the price of it, and he said 20 quid. You've never seen a fella getting 20 quid as quick in your lifetime. But he told us he never knew what it was. He bought a job lot. So we put that on her, and touch wood from that day to this. That was the only incident, as the fella says, because we had planned on, if not, driving so far, coming home and switching batteries. You know, your car, charge up the battery, switch it over to try to get home.
There could be one actually interesting story maybe that we only talked about a minute ago. A little bit of paint on it. Yeah, we tried to take good care of the cars, and we have them in a nice clean garage, and we were painting the floor one day. And I turned around and Sam had the paintbrush in his hand, but he wasn't going to paint the floor. What's the paint? The paint of the piece of the car he's hiding. He painted with the grey floor paint. He's only small then, you're only two, I think. Aren't you trying to help me?
It was doing it all up.
Doing it all up, yeah. We spent about 2 years doing it up, didn't we?
And I think it was fun putting it all back together and doing it up.
There's always little jobs to do on it. Yeah. It fills in the time, born weekends, we can tip around that and stuff, can't we? And bring up our spins then on Sundays. Yeah.
Probably I started in the St. Patrick's Day Parade in New Ross in the early 90s, I think 91, where we had various floats and things. And then after that I got involved in classic cars, and then this car behind me came along in, I think, the year 2000. So it's kind of iconic in New Ross being apple green and whatever. It's very appropriate for the day that's in it.
On most Paddy's days, we'd bring her out for a run, put her in the parade. She enjoys it, but it all depends on how quickly the parade is moving, because the only problem is she's air cooled. So if after a while you're not moving her, or she's not moving very fast, you'll start seeing the temperature rise. Now fortunately she has a cutout, but the problem with that is that she cuts out for a good 5 or 10 minutes. So you're then completely stuck in the middle of the parade and having to let people past you. But fortunately I have a very good neighbour in Nicholas Murphy, who also has a vintage car, and on a number of occasions he's come to my rescue and towed me along in the parade while she's been cooling down.
I suppose, what does it feel like? I suppose it's, how would you say, probably feels good to the extent that you're driving it slowly. You have the windows down if you have a roof, and you're driving so slow that they can see the car. But what you do, inclined to hear pick up as you go along, two fellas saying, oh, that's an Opel. No, it's not, that's a Ford. And no, I'm telling you now, you hear the arguments going on, you know, of what it is. And you'll also hear people saying, oh, when I was so-and-so had one of them new back in 1950 or 60, or, you know, you hear the barter going on, you know, and it's just to see the smile on people's face, particularly kids. Kids love looking at older cars, you know, they do. That's what would be my thing at the Patrick's Day Parade.
Okay, Classic Car Club was founded in 2010. We have around 200 members from all parts of the country. It's a very, very close-knit club. Luckily, there's lots of members from the New Ross Wexford area. We have lots of, you know, it's a very, very social thing really, and we all love our cars, of course. And Patrick's Day every year is the start of the classic car season. You know, so it's great to be able to take them out and get the cars together, meet up for coffee and all the rest.
There you go. In addition to, oh, thank you very much. Taking the big one. Before I had the Austin 7, I used to have a lovely old motorcycle. It was an R100 RT, a BMW, and with that great big barn door fairing on the front, that was the most amazing machine. We took it down to the south of France. It went into Switzerland. It's even been skiing. Not intentionally, but we got snowed in on one of our trips, and it took us about 4 or 5 hours to get out of the snowdrift with these Frenchmen yelling and screaming at us with no sympathy for the fact we were on a motorcycle in about 3 inches of snow, just annoyed that we were in the way and they couldn't get past us.
I always notice that when people see you in, particularly if they're with strangers, they always let them know that they know you. You know what I mean? Say, oh, here's PJ Murphy, or here's Ger Keelty, you know, that type of thing, you know. But as I said, I think it's a kids' day, really. I know the parents are all there as well, but they do, you know. I had an Opel GT one time, and the headlights folded in on her, you know, and yeah, they worked on a lever, and if I go down the street and you pull this lever, these lights, Jesus, see kids' eyes and they're lighting up.
If I was to sum up the car in 3 words, I'd say old, great fun.
Yes, great driving fun.
3 words.
It's a very good car.
Very good car. That's 3 words.
I must away now, I can no longer tarry. This morning's temple I have to cross. I must be guided without a stop into the arms I love and know. And when he came to his true love's wedding, he knelt down gently upon a stone, and through her window these whispered low, is my true lover within know. Wake up, love, 'tis I know true lover. Wake up, love, and let me in, for I am tired, love, and oh so weary, and more than this to shoot the skin. She raised her
My name is Sharon Malloy and I'm 27. I've been dancing with the Pair School for 22 years.
My name is Libby Bowe. I'm 16 years of age. I've been dancing with Pair School for 11 years now.
I'm Shauna Foley. I'm 16 years of age and I started dancing 11 years ago.
I'm Karen Colton and I'm 17 and I started dancing 12 years ago.
My name is Amy Ennis. I'm 17 and I started dancing probably 12 years ago now.
My name is Ciara Murphy. I'm 16. I've been dancing for 10 years now.
My name is Catherine Power and I am teacher with the Power School of Irish Dancing, second generation. And my mother used to teach Irish dancing in Ross before me, and then I started teaching back in about 1982. And I have classes in Ross and some of the neighbouring parishes.
Catherine is such a lovely person. She's really caring for all the dancers, has time for everyone, never leaves anyone out. And for me, I've been with her so long now, she's like my second mother.
Catherine is such a nice person. She'd literally do anything for anyone. Love her to bits, and she's literally my second mum as well.
Catherine's, she's outstanding. She's always there to encourage you. If you don't know the steps, she'll show you the steps and all. It's great, like second mother to everyone down there.
Catherine's a wonderful person. She always does her best to help everyone and includes them and tries her best all around, and she never forgets anyone.
Catherine's she's brilliant. I wouldn't dance with anyone else, and she's always, I'd be a nervous person and she's always there to calm me down and stuff before fetches and stuff like that, so she's brilliant.
She's just like a mother to all of us. You'd always look forward to going into dancing after school and stuff, and she'd never forget about anyone and include everyone the whole time.
It's part of our culture. I'm passionate, I suppose, about Irish dancing. I love all the kids, I love all the girls that I teach. The boys are very scarce. We'd like to have more boys, but the girls are fantastic, especially as they get a bit older. They're great crack, and yeah, as I said, it's part of our culture, it's part of our heritage. Would have, I think, originally been sean-nós would have been the first type of Irish dancing, and then it progressed to the traditional type of Irish dancing. And at the moment, you have more, I suppose it's gone more technical in the last couple of years, more skilled. You have the likes of river dance then that brought back the popularity of Irish dancing when that was on the Eurovision, the time Ireland, what's the word I'm looking for, hosted the Eurovision. So Irish dancing is very popular, and it's good, it's a great activity, it's good exercise. You also have the likes of then Cayley dancing, which adults can do, set dancing, all that. They're all first cousins of each other. So yeah, it's good.
Irish dancing for me, I just love it. It's a great pastime, but also I just have a passion for it now at this stage, and just gives you a sense of pride because your own culture and your country's, I suppose, dancing, and just gives you a real sense of proudness, I suppose, for me.
I love it. I love just gracing around and dancing the whole time because you just feel so free, and learning new steps is a big challenge because you want to do them really right. And then, yeah, you just feel so proud when you take that first step out onto the stage and know you're dancing, and then it's just your culture. It's just real pride in yourself.
2017, we went to New York to dance in the New York St. Patrick's Parade. And then the night before we were supposed to go, there was really bad snow in New York, so we weren't supposed to go, but we got there in the end on the second day.
It was a wonderful experience to go on, to get to dance in the parade and see all the different parades from around the world, and it was lovely to go do it.
I've always enjoyed it. I've always felt really, strong. I feel on stage and stuff like that. It's just a good feeling.
I just feel like it's always it's such a nice thing to do when you're abroad. And you always have it, you can always do it for everyone. It's always something nice to have.
Well, traditionally we would have done a float since my mother's time. We always had a float in St. Patrick's Day Parade. When I started teaching then, as I said, around 1982, I started to do our own float. And some of the time it would have been traditional Irish, other times it would be themed, as in we would have did Cowboys and Indians and spaceship and all that kind of thing. The kids would love dressing up. We also, for a couple of years, twinned in with Dunbrody, and we would have taken part as the emigrants. My dancers could have dressed up and walked as part of that onto the ship. Because we don't have the traditional St. Patrick's Day parade this year, it is difficult. But we'll be back next year, and I think people maybe will appreciate the work and the effort that goes into the parade, and maybe participate more and value our culture more when we're able to go out and celebrate it next year.
Just to my family at home and also family abroad as well, just want to say happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. I hope to have a great day this year.
Yeah, and to all my family as well, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Keep safe and, you know, enjoy St. Patrick's Day.
Have a good St. Patrick's Day. Just happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone, like, who can't be together and stuff.
Just to everyone that's watching, a happy St. Patrick's Day.
You can't beat a bit of Irish dancing on St. Patrick's Day. Thank you very much to the Catherine Power School of Dancing. And now we're going behind the scenes to the Feathered-on-Sea St. Patrick's Day Parade. Whoop ya by ya!
The main reason I suppose we started the parade was because we saw people moving out of the area, going to different parades in different villages, and we said, why can't we do it here? We've an absolutely fantastic community. Everyone is very community orientated, so we kind of said, right, we'll, and we threw it out there, and everyone jumped on board, and it kind of went from there.
Got bigger and bigger every year then.
Yeah, all of the all the businesses were hugely supportive.
From putting up the bunting to
that's it, to
everything.
Yeah,
people come with green ice creams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Dylan's on St. Patrick's Day. Dylan's would give all the kids ice cream. It was their first day for putting out the machine, so they'd give all the kids green ice creams, and it was a huge atmosphere in the area.
It was really good.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why we did as well start a parade was because I was speaking to my parents, and they said that my granddad, Jimmy O'Leary, had put a replica of the Huck Lighthouse in the Dublin parade a couple of years ago. So we kind of kept talking then about the parade and why we didn't have one in Feathered, and then we just realised it was just a brilliant way to get everyone, every different area in the village to get involved in the parade, from the GA to the businesses to, it was everyone, wasn't it? Just everyone got involved, and it was just really nice.
Yeah, it was when that parade was on in Dublin, I have no idea the year.
Yeah.
But it was years ago. I remember looking at it on telly, sitting around,
seeing
the lighthouse going down O'Connell Street. It was just, it was because there weren't really parades down here. You didn't even go to Ross for parades years ago. Kind of, if you were from
before we
from
started
here,
the parade, the last parade that was in Feathered, we started in 2014, and the last parade was 30 years before that. Like the atmosphere in the village in Feathered on our St. Patrick's Day is unbelievable.
Like the buzz from the morning, I suppose, from when you get up. It's
like we're up in the street trying to
parade,
sort out everything and get places for the kids to dance and all. And then everyone starts coming, and once everyone just starts arriving, you're like, oh God, you're nervous a little bit. But then when everyone, the street, we had a fella did the drum a couple of years ago, and when you look down and you just see the people in the village, and everyone is out with pints, and all the pubs have their music blaring, and it's a really good day.
St. Patrick's Day, it is a sense of, it is a sense of pride.
Oh, it's very proud, very proud day.
Like Sean Waters has a horse and cart. He goes, he
was in the parade a couple of years, yeah.
It is. It's something for for everyone to get involved in. It's not not just like for stereotypical Irish. It's kind of to go to the pub. It's not. It's like it's for everyone. It's for all ages. It's for absolutely everyone.
We were very stressed that morning. Very stressed. I'm up in the GA pitch shouting at everyone. Iring's down on the street telling the fella that's
What
on
to
the
do.
microphone what to do. So yeah, we're very stressed that day. But once the parade starts and you see it at the bridge coming up, it's great.
Lovely, and then later on it is lovely, and everyone is out, and like everyone's in good form, and
everyone stays out.
Yeah, it is. I love it. I do.
it's
I love
great.
it.
Was on one fine March morning I'd been to Orleans a Jew, and I took the road to Jacksontown, me fortune to renew. I cursed all foreign money, no credit could again, which left my heart with longing for the lakes upon Pontchartrain. I stepped on board a railway car beneath the burning sun, and I rode the rod till evening, and I lay me down again. Tall strangers, they're no friends to me, till a darker toward me came, and I fell in love with my Creole girl by the lakes upon Pontchartrain. I said, my pretty Creole girl, me money here's no good, and it weren't for the alligators I'd sleep out in the woods. You're welcome here, kind stranger, from such sad thoughts refrain. For me, mammy, welcome, stranger, by the lakes upon Pontchartrain. She took me to her mammy's house, and she treated me right well, with her hair upon her shoulders and tall black ringlets fell, to try and paint her beauty. I'm sure it would be in vain. So handsome was my Creole girl by the lakes upon Pontchartrain.
He asked her if she married me, and she said that never could be, for she got lovers far away at sea. She said that she would wait for him, and true she would remain, till he'd return to his Creole girl by the lakes upon 𝙤𝙪𝙣𝙤. Miss fairly well, my Creole girl, and I never see you no more. And I'll never forget your kindness in the cottage by the shore, and that each social gathering a flowering bowl I'll drain, and I'll drink to the health of my Creole girl by the lakes upon 𝙤𝙪𝙣𝙤. I'll drink to the health of my Creole girl by the lakes of 𝙤𝙪𝙣𝙠.
To all our family and friends in New Ross, a very happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone from Rochford. We're normally up in the Irish town every St. Patrick's Day in Auntie Annette's house with all our family celebrating St. Patrick's Day and watching the parade, and obviously we can't be there this year or last year, so hopefully next year we'll make it up. But happy St. Patrick's Day to all our family and everyone we know who we'd normally spend time with. Thanks.
Éad míle fáilte, agus thuna lá féile pádraig go dtí gach duine ó Rossvik Thráin agus ar fud an domhan. I would like to wish the Municipal District of New Ross, the ancestral home of J.F. Kennedy, a happy and joyous St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day unites the Irish all over the world, from America to the Faroe Islands, to Japan, to Australia and back to Ireland. Today we take part in what has become a worldwide festival. Although virtual, the sentiments remain the same, where our hands and hearts are offered to every stranger around the world. Whether in your living room or garden or wherever, don your colours, don your beautiful Irish smile, don your Irish pride and celebrate the best of our nation. We wish all our diaspora and each and every one of you a happy lá féile pádraig from every corner of County Wexford and especially the great town of New Ross. Buíochas ó Cree agus éire abú. Gur maith agaibh go léir.
On this St. Patrick's Day in 2021, I want to issue the warmest of welcomes to everybody here in New Ross and abroad. It's a day to celebrate our nationhood, our culture and everything that is absolutely best about who we are.
Hello, Nana, Grandad, Kerry and Ali. Welcome. And everybody in New Ross, happy St. Patrick's Day and everybody in the world. I wish you a good St. Patrick's Day. I'll do a dance and a song. They'll both be together. St. Patrick's Day, dun dun dun, dun dee dun dun. She fiddled in the hole, she piddled in the other way. She had to piddle anyway, ring no, ring no, what's that here?
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody, both at home and abroad. I know this is our second year of online celebrations, but I really look forward to next year, to inviting you to New Ross and Wexford for all it has to offer. In the meantime, stay safe. Lá féile pádraig.
On behalf of Wexford County Council, I'd like to wish everyone a safe and happy St. Patrick's Day.
In spite of the current sanitary measures in Ireland and France, we wish you a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. We hope that very soon we can meet again in Mokutan to celebrate together, drink, sing and dance. We hope the training committee will come here together with as many inhabitants of New Ross as possible.
I want to say thank you to all the people who sent in those beautiful messages from right around the world. It made me really happy. I'm going to go across the road to St. Michael's Theatre to watch the New Ross Pantomime Society put on a play about me.
Oh, good afternoon, boys and girls, mammies and daddies. You're very welcome here today to a very special production by New Ross Pantomime Society. My name is Linda, and today I'm going to tell you the story of a man who became a saint who became a legend, and a legend that inspired a 4-day drinking session. So, this is the legend of St. Patrick.
Oh, hello there, everybody. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nanny Smith. Now, I know most of you have been sitting home for the last 3 months on your backsides, eating nothing but teho. But let me tell you, working on this farm is not all what's cracked up to be. There's cows to milk, sheep to shear, and there's chickens throwing their eggs like they're going out of fashion. Only for a half paddy working on the farm with me, I'd be lost.
Hello, Nanny. What a beautiful day on the farm. There's nothing like working in the open air, meeting with friends and having the chat.
All right, Paddy. Camera's over there.
Hello, everyone. How's things? I'm sure looking well anyway, and sure that's the main thing. Listen, I can't be talking to you lot all day long. I've a ton of work to be doing.
You can sing that. There's cows down there need milking.
Wouldn't that be great?
What?
I mean, if the cows could milk themselves. I don't mean that each cow would milk themselves. That'd be ridiculous. But they could take turns at milking each other. Or should I say, milking each other's udder? Do you get it?
I hear Daisy calling. Go on, off with you.
I'm off. See you later, Nanny.
Wisht! Here comes his lordship, the mayor of Killinassillee. Oh, he's only gorgeous. He's the very same as George Clooney and Graham Norton. Hello, your lordship.
Good afternoon, Nanny Smith. What a fabulous day, fabulous day. I say, Nanny, that's a very fetching frock you're wearing.
Oh, I got it in the new shop downtown. Oh, get the frock out here.
That's very becoming. How was that young project chap getting on the farm? He's a right chap, he's a right worker.
Oh,
well, you've landed on your feet there, I tell you.
He's brilliant. He's absolutely a little topper.
Nanny! Nanny! Where's Paddy? I need him. It's a matter of life or death.
Whatever is the matter, Bopey?
Let me guess. You lost your sheep.
Oh, how did you guess? Oh, listen now, Nanny. This was different. It wasn't like the last time. Or the time before that. Or the time before that. Oh, I was watching him like a hawk, I tell you. All the gates were closed and all the ditches were sealed up.
How did you let the sheep escape your field?
Well, it was a bit of a miracle, really. One of them threw a rope up on the tree, and one by one they all climbed up the rope, and then they jumped out to an outstretched branch.
An outstretched branch?
An outstretched branch. So it was a bit like, then they jumped over onto the edge of the branch, and then they jumped into the field one by one, and it was a bit of a miracle. You wouldn't believe it unless I seen it with my own eyes.
So you watched all your sheep leaving the field?
No, like I sang along as well.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So what happens now?
So now I come to find Paddy, and him and me, we find our sheep, and because Paddy is good at finding the sheep, is Paddy.
He's down in the far shed, milking the cows. Now I haven't time for this. I have to go put the dinner on. The spuds ain't going to buy themselves. What about you, your lordship? Would you like a nibble on my potato?
Well, that's enough for I can't refuse, really, is it?
I better go find Paddy. Who are you?
Who am I?
Yes, who are you?
Don't you know who I am?
No, why would I know who you are? Look, I've a flock load of sheep to find, and I don't have time for someone with an identity crisis like you.
I beg your pardon. I am the evil queen, and if you are looking for your sheep, Bo Peep, I'm afraid you're too late.
What have you done? Look, if you've made mutton stew out of them, you better have kept me some.
Hardly. I found your sheep trampling all over my prize-winning begonias, sticking their filthy little hooves everywhere. Ugh. I fixed it, so they'll never trample on anything ever again.
What have you done?
I turned your sheep into snakes, slithering all around the ground.
Snakes? Are they poisonous?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't really factor that into the spell.
So, you're telling me we've got what's the collective word for snakes? A flock of snakes loose around Killassilly. What will we do, evil queen? What will we do?
Well, don't ask me. I just create the trouble. I don't fix it. And if you'll excuse me, I have to go get my hair done. Toodaloo!
Oh, I've got to go find Paddy. He'll know what to do. Oh. Farmer Tom!
All right there, Bo.
Have you seen Paddy?
Paddy? Paddy? Paddy?
Oh, Paddy that works for Nanny Smith. Paddy.
Paddy? 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 Oh, I can't say I do. What's he look like?
He's about this tall, brown hair, green coat, and wellies.
Oh, that Paddy! Of course I know him. I knew him all his life since he was a wee lad, so I did. Used to bounce him up and down on me knee when he was a baby. Here, have I ever told you about the time he got stuck behind those bales when I was bringing him into the shed over there?
Look now, Father Tom, I don't really have time for this. I need to find Paddy right now.
It was so funny. I tell you what, I was bringing in the stack of bales, and he got in behind me. I never even knew he was in there. And...
Farmer Tom, do you know where Paddy is right now? Oh, for the love of God. I'll never find Paddy at this rate. Paddy!
Who's Paddy? Paddy? Of course I do. He's down in the shed there milking the cows. Could have told her that the whole time. Trouble is with young ones these days. They have no patience at all. No patience at all.
Paddy! Paddy! Oh my God! I'm so glad I found you.
What seems to be the matter, Bo Peep? Don't tell me you've lost your sheep and don't know where to find them?
Well, yeah, I did lose my sheep, but it's even worse than that, Paddy. The evil queen, she said they were trampling all over her flowers. So she put a magic spell on them and turned them into snakes.
Snakes? Why snakes?
I don't know. I could just think it just has some relevance to do with this story that we're trying to tell everyone.
Of course. This is it. This is my moment of destiny.
What?
I'm going to try to find those snakes, drive them from these shores, and then, only then, will I fulfill my destiny and become St. Patrick.
St. Patrick? I think someone's getting a little carried away with themselves.
Now, where can we find these snakes? Come on, Bo Peep. There's not a moment to lose.
Oh, we're like Batman and Robin. How exciting!
catch a pail of water. And didn't I slip at the top and fell all the way down to the bottom. And I'm after busting my head off that stupid rock. Any sign of Jill?
I can see her. She's coming down the hill right now. Listen, we don't have much time. We're looking for snakes. Do you know where they are?
Oh, there's no shortage of them around here. And while you're looking, if you see that Stony Burke fella, tell him he owes me 20 quid. And if he doesn't pay up, I'll tell everybody what he was doing behind the cow sheds last Saturday night.
Jack! The snakes we're looking for, like worms, wiggly worms, with fangs!
Oh, the holy thing just got serious.
No, Jack. Things just got biblical.
I like that.
Oh, well, there's Jill there now anyway. Gee, she's after falling down the hill too. I'd better go and stop her now before she hops off that rock. Good luck, lads.
Listen, Bo Peep. What's that noise? It sounds like hissing. It must be snakes!
Buddy, what will we do?
Quick, Bo Peep, hand me your staff. I'm going to try to usher the snakes down to the end of the field and over the cliff at the far side.
Do you think they'll fall for that?
Yes, fall. Brilliant. Anyway, we have to try. It's our only chance. Okay, just one more push and... Yes, we did it!
Yeah, you did it, Paddy!
That's what I meant. What did I say? I did it!
Yay!
What's going on here? Is everyone all right?
Yeah, we're all fine, Nanny.
We're better than fine. We just got rid of all the snakes.
Snakes? There's no snakes in 𝘾𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤. In fact, there's no snakes in Ireland.
Excuse me, your lordship. There actually was snakes. The evil queen turned my sheep into snakes, and they were running amok all over the town until Paddy here pushed them off the cliff and into the sea.
Good man, Paddy. I told you that I was a saint. Oh, indeed, indeed. And in fact, by the power invested in me with the people of 𝘾𝙤𝙤𝙤, I now announce you Saint Paddy.
How about Patrick? It has a nicer ring to it.
Oh, indeed. So in fact, it's called St. Patrick's Day.
Hey!
And henceforth, on this day, the 17th of March, I now announce this as St. Patrick's Day, the day that St. Patrick ran all the snakes out of Ireland. Well, technically, he only drove them to 𝘾𝙤𝙤𝙤. Well, they were the only, technically the snakes were the only snakes in Ireland, so technically he ran all the snakes out of Ireland. I suppose, of course, they were only here for one day.
And they didn't do any harm, did they?
They actually took your sheep. Are you saying that St. Patrick killed little Bo Sheep's sheep?
Hold on, guys. I think we're missing the point here. The snakes are gone. I'm a hero and a saint. Now, can we all just go to the pub for a few pints and celebrate?
Now you're talking, Paddy.
Hey, to the pub. Yay. Wouldn't that be nice?
And there you have it, the true story of St. Patrick and how he drove all the snakes out of Ireland and became our patron saint, celebrated not just here in Ireland, but all around the world. So, wherever you are in the world this St. Patrick's Day, from New Ross Pantomime Society, we wish you joy, peace, and a very happy St. Patrick's Day. Sláinte. My name is Linda, and I'm going to tell you the true story of a man who became a saint who became a legend, and a legend who inspired... I forgot, sorry.
Only for I have that Paddy, I beat lost. Paddy!
Oh, I thought you were doing Jimmy on his own.
Wished. Here comes your lordship. The king. Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to try to usher the snakes down to the end of the field and over the cliff at the far side. We just got rid of all the snakes.
Snakes? There's no snakes in 𝘾𝙤𝙤𝙤.
Here we
as we gathered in the chapel here in 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙧𝙙 jail. I think about these past few weeks, or when they say we failed. From our school days they have told us that we must yearn for liberty. Yet all I want in this dark place is to have you here with me. Oh, grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They'll take me out at dawn and I will die. With all my love, I place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, for we must say goodbye. Now I know it's hard for you, my love, to ever understand the love I bear for these brave men, my love for this dear land. But when poetry called me to his side down in the GPO, I had to leave my own sick bed. To him I had to go. Oh, grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They'll take me out at dawn and I will die. With all my love, I place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, for we must say goodbye. Now as the dawn is breaking, my heart is breaking too. On this May morn, as I walk out, my thoughts will be of you. And I write some words upon the wall, so everyone will know I love so much that I could see his blood upon the rose. Oh, grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They'll take me out at dawn and I will die. With all my love, I place this wedding ring upon your finger. There
My name is Mary Brown from Brown's Photography in Bridge Street in New Ross, and myself and my brother Pat and Dad, this year marks 50 years covering the St. Patrick's Day Parade in New Ross. Back in 1971, one of the first parades Dad would have covered, it would have been very different to now. I was just looking at the files, and the parade in New Ross, I think there was 8 photographs taken of it. The camera back then was pre-digital time. It was film, non-autofocus, it was manual focus, manual wind on, and a little bit more cumbersome than what we have now. And then the photographs would have been taken on film, processed in the darkroom. At that time it would have been up in the house. He would have processed the film, printed the photographs, and they would have been in, I'd say, probably the 𝙒𝙀 or the Standard back then. And that would have been the start of covering the parades. And if you skip on now, I don't know how many photographs I took of the parade last year, but it would be up in the several hundreds, if not over the thousands. It was just a different time. I always knew I was going to follow into the photographic business. I used to go around with Dad, and so did Patrick. We used to go around with him taking photographs when he was taking photographs. And I always knew back then that if I was looking for Dad, say if I lost him, if I was just in watching what was happening, all I had to do was look up high. He would be after climbing up on something to get the photographs. Some of the photographs you'll see, some of the earlier ones of the parade when it used to come over South Street from the Tonsil side to the theatre up South Street that way. He used to take the photographs on top of the old cinema roof. Always a big part of our business is always trying to get the slightly different photograph or the good image, and that often involved climbing up on walls, roofs, whatever you could to get the image, especially a parade where you're trying to capture as many people walking and trying to look out for the different costume or the different float, or especially children dressed up in costumes. They make great photographs in the parade, and they're always very colourful. In New Ross, the parade route covers from the top of the town down, so we've several opportunities. We'd have our own ways of where to get the best photograph and go down to the next spot, because you'll be trying to capture all the different groups. It's the one time that New Ross comes out to display the jerseys, the kids, the floats, all the bands, and everybody is out on a fine day, but even on a wet day, in their green and waving on the kids. Dealing with the parade committees and the Gardaí over the years, they're very good to us because they'll allow us park in at the specific areas so that we can get the photographs, jump into the car and move on, and which is great on a fine day. We've plenty of fun on a wet day. I remember covering a parade not so long ago. There was myself and Paddy Delaney. I was doing it for the 𝙒𝙀 at that time, Paddy for the Standard. Well, it was opening the heavens out with it, and our biggest job then was trying to keep the cameras dry. But still the children turned out, still all the floats pulled out, and trying to get downtown and get the umbrellas out, and of course then you'd have a little bit of wind to help. But it's like a little challenge to ourselves to get to the spot, like you have to do a little bit of a recce beforehand, be talking to the parade committee to see if there's any change of routes and can you park in the normal spots. And I know it's all only small things, but that's the difference of us actually getting there ahead of the parade each time. It's the delight on the kids' faces when they're dressed up and either walking in the parade or with a little flag on the float. It's like they've won the lotto. And then we used to be able to throw out sweets then years ago too. Throw out sweets to the waiting crowd. A great thing about the photograph in the Patrick's Day Parade is the different characters that you'll see out in the town, and everybody is smiling. Like one here is Stacia. Stacia lived in the Irish town, and Stacia was the character, one of the great characters of the town. 2000 was, you'll see the pikes were still in use after the 1998 celebrations. And as you see, even not often you get a man in a leotard on a float around the town, but during the Patrick's Day Parade you can. And I think that just shows how much everybody likes the parades every year. Over the years, I take great pride in photographing the Patrick's Day Parade in New Ross. Now you have Campile, Duncannon, Ghreignamanagh, and capturing all the different personalities and great crack that goes with it.
Well, I hope you're enjoying the broadcast so far. We want to thank Mary Brown for an eclectic mix of photographs from years gone by of St. Patrick's Day, taking us right through the years and all the memories she's brought back for us. Thank you very much for that. Now we're going to go over to Sue Kent, and she's in Campile, and we're going to get St. Patrick's Day from Campile.
I'm part of Campile Village Development Group, and for the last 34 years we did have St. Patrick's Day parades in the village after 10:30 Mass from the church down through the village into Glanbia car park. It was always led by the Campile Pipe Band of St. Patrick's Day SF. Well, it was to follow the parade down from the church and the Campile Band, and then up to Henry Hayes for green and white 99 on the day. Henry always had the ice cream Patrick's Day, and that was a huge family tradition still going on 34 years later. Pints. How do I answer that question now? Okay, so we've we did at the time, 3 very good pubs that serve good pint of porter in each of the pubs. We had Whelan's, we had, still have Dunphy's, unfortunately we don't have Whelan's anymore, and Hearts. And by the end of the night, a lot of people would tell you they took part in the parade, whether they were or not, but like, if it was a good parade, they were in it. Well, it's an Irish tradition, and I think it brings, even if you're not Irish, we'll make an honorary Irish person for the day, and we embrace everybody. And everyone is in good form, everyone has their Sunday best on, and everyone's out for a good bit of fun and raising a glass, and whether you drink a green pint or not, like a cup of tea, still wish you a happy St. Patrick's Day. Oh, most definitely, yeah. That's what I'm saying, like, you know, even all over the world, like, you'd see buildings being lit up with green lights and everything, like, it's amazing. We're a tiny little speck in the ocean, and the whole world wants to embrace us, like, I think it's wonderful, like, you know.
Wow, I hope you enjoyed that performance from the world-class New Ross and District Pipe Band in the Irish town New Ross. Behind me is Butcher's Best, the home to Ireland's only singing butcher.
In my memory, I will always see the town that I have loved so well, where school played ball by the gas yard wall, and we laughed through the smoke and the smell. Going home in the rain, running up the dark lane, past the jail and down behind the fountain. Those were happy days in so many, many ways, in the town I loved so well. In the early morning, the shirt factory horn called women from Cregan, the moor and the bog, while the men on the dole played a mother's role, fed the children and then walked the dog. And when times got tough, there was just about enough, but they saw it through without complaining, for deep inside was a burning pride in the town I loved so well. There was music there in the Derry air, like a language that we all could understand. I remember the day when I earned my first pay, when I played in a small pickup band. There I spent my youth, and to tell you the truth, I was sad to leave it all behind me, for I learned about life, and I found a wife in the town I loved so well. But when I returned, how my eyes were burned to see how a town could be brought to its knees by the armoured cars and their bombed out bars, and the gas that hangs on to every breeze. Now the army's installed by that old gas yard wall, and the damn barbed wire gets higher and higher. With their tanks and their guns, oh my God, what have they done to the town I love so well? Now the music's gone, but they carry on, for their spirit's been bruised, but never broken. They will not forget, for their hearts are set on tomorrow and peace once again. For what's done is done, and what's won is won, and what's lost is lost and gone forever. I can only pray for a bright brand new day in the town I loved so well.
has its fair share of saintly names associated with it. We have St. Mary and St. Michael, which we're all familiar with, but these arrived in Norman times. We have St. Mary's Church and St. Michael's Church, and they in turn gave their names to Michael Street and Mary Street. Before that, back in Celtic times though, we had St. Abban and St. Evan. 5th and 6th century Celtic saints who arrived here in New Ross. St. Abban was a Wexford man related to St. Iber of Begarin, and he followed shortly after St. Patrick, and St. Patrick foretold great things for St. Abban. He established a church and a scholastic establishment here in the town, and there's debate exactly where he established it, but the general consensus is that it was here in John Street, and it was on the site now where the YMCA hall is now built. And following on that, a century later, St. Evan arrived here in the town, and he continued that establishment, and scholars and students came from all over Ireland to study here. Now, there's another saint associated with New Ross, St. Stephen, and we know that from St. Stephen's Cemetery, but really we don't think there ever was a St. Stephen. We think it's a corruption of St. Evan or St. Eben, and it became St. Stephen's Cemetery. But there's a church there which is associated, a little church in the middle of the cemetery, which is associated with St. Abban or St. Evan. Now, some people even think that St. Abban and St. Evan are the same people, but look, one was 5th century, the other 6th century, so you know yourself that can't be true. There's another connection here with the town in that we have Neville Street. On all maps that's shown as Nevin Street, and again people think that that was a corruption of St. Evan, and there is reputed to have been a church up there. The saints have had many miracles associated with them, and they're recorded in the ancient annals. And there's one particular miracle associated with St. Abban. The story goes that there was a local king, an elderly man, and he had a child. And the child was born, and it was his sole heir, but it was a girl. He would have preferred a boy because that was the line of succession at the time, but he asked St. Abban to christen the child. And the story goes that St. Abban saw how forlorn the poor king was. So he went to christen the child, and as he dipped the child in the font, it went in a girl but came out a boy. So he presented the child to the king, who was absolutely delighted with it. So look, as I say, I wasn't there at the time, so I can't stand over, but it is recorded in the ancient annals. So that's the association of the Celtic saints of Ireland here with New Ross, St. Abban and St. Evan. They were here when it was Ross-Vic Throne, before the Normans came, and before really any sort of recorded history of the town was available. So look, we have our fair share of saints, and we've plenty to be proud of.
Thank you, Miles, for that story about the saints. I know them well. For all of you watching locally, nationally and globally, I hope you're enjoying the virtuous St. Patrick's Day celebrations. Now, St. Patrick loves a classic song. And here's a song made famous by the Dubliners, sung by Ronan. Here's Spancil Hill.
Last night as I lay dreaming of pleasant days gone by, me mind been bent on rambling to Ireland I did fly. Well, I stepped on board a vision, I followed with the wind. and I shortly came to anchor at the cross of Spansel Hill. It was on the 23rd of May, was the day before the fair, where Ireland's sons and daughters were all assembled there. The young, the old, the brave, the bold, their duty to fulfill at the little church in Clooney, a mile from Spansel Hill. Well, I went to see my neighbours, to see what they might say. The old ones were all dead and gone, the young ones turning grey. Oh, well, I met with Taylor Quigley, he is as bold as ever still. How well he used to mend my breeches when I lived in Spansel Hill. I paid a flying visit to my first and only love. She is fair as any lily, as gentle as a dove. Well, she threw her arms around me, saying, Johnny, I love you still. Oh, she's Mick, the ranger's daughter, and the pride of Spansel Hill. Well, I dreamt I held and kissed her, oh, as in the days of yore. She said, Johnny, you're only joking, as many's the time before. How well the cock crew in the morning, it crew both loud and shrill, and I awoke in California, many miles from Spansel Hill.
Hello, my name is Stumpy McMuffin, or my alter ego is Stumpy McMuffin. And for St. Patrick's Day, we organised the only parade on a beach in Duncannon for many, many years.
I'm John Glennon. I was involved in the organising of the, I suppose, what initially was the 𝙒𝙪𝙣𝙠 Festival then. Paddy and Cara Dorn came to Hal, my brother and myself, and asked us about doing a parade to raise some money for the soccer club. And in on that then, because you would have had Cathy Dowling, Hal and myself basically running the 𝙒𝙪𝙣𝙠 Festival. Cathy came in, and it was initially through the soccer club, and then we said we'd bring in J Club, so Brian Kennedy came in for the first couple of years as well. And basically that little group organised the first ever Duncannon parade down here, the only parade in the world that has a St. Patrick's Day parade on the beach. The first year we had a fairly good idea of what we were going to do, you know, you work it out, and it just developed from there really. I think, to be honest with you, the whole day is good crack. We set up a structure, we kind of knew what we wanted to do as such. We set it up in that certain way, the lines up outside the church as to get them coming down. And personally, I suppose maybe when you come down this hill and you just come by the Strand Tavern there, and the influx of people is just immense. It's great crack. You're kind of coming down a little narrow street, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's a couple of hundred, even 1,000 people around there. It's a great buzz, great crack, yeah, and that's what you're doing it for. That is unique, I suppose, is we always tried to have events after the parade. Normally you go to a parade, what do? You watch a couple of cars, tractors driving by, whatever. We always try to have a soccer competition down here, tug of war, and we would have had bungee trampoline, there would have been bouncy castles, something afterwards for the kids to do, rather than just a parade and everyone disperse. You would have had Seamus Long doing DJ for Seamus, always stayed on for hours afterwards playing a bit of music. And it all added up to having a day, an event, rather than just a parade. I think that's what we always tried to do. We even organised Farmers Market a couple of years up in the fort. You know, we tried just to do something different. Again, an event for people to come to rather than just watch a parade and gone. Wouldn't have any before, because you're dealing with kids, you could see kids, and you don't want to be stinking of beer. But definitely afterwards, I think my favourite line was, you know, Jesus Christ might have turned water into wine, but this St. Patrick's going to be turning Guinness into water, you know? And I always went up into the Strand Tavern and had a sculled at least 1 pint of Guinness while dressed as St. Patrick. I got rid of it fairly soon afterwards, all right, but I always had at least 1 pint in the Patrick outfit. So I think it's a celebration of just your heritage, your culture. It's more than just, for me anyway, it's more than just a mere Christian celebration. You know, it's about trying to, you know, get together as a culture and society and say, you know, this is who we are, this is what we do, you know?
Your sweet kiss will bring the rest. Your mouth on mine, mouth wave on wave. We will meet the sea's loud roar. What better way to cheat the grave? One step on, two, hold tight, let go. 20 and 4, hold tight, let go. To hold tight, let go. 20 and 4, hold tight, let go. I'm nearly there, let go.
Up you buy it. 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙤, traditional Irish music at its very best in a stunning location, the Duncannon Fort. Up next, Ross Tapestry.
Well, St. Patrick, of course, is extremely important to the Irish people, and he's been brought abroad everywhere.
Are worked in wool on linen, and they're actually embroideries. It's crewel work embroidery. Not tapestry in the traditional sense, in the same way as the bayeux tapestry is an embroidery. And the ladies, a lot of the ladies here have been working for many years, and then we have new people coming in all the time, learning the stitches and working on the new panels.
So this one, as I said, is Coming Home, Threads of Friendship between the USA and Ireland, and this tells the story of the Irish diaspora, the Irish that went abroad, famine times. The most famous person that we, of course, is Patrick Kennedy, John F. Kennedy's great-grandfather, and he left the shores here after the famine, 1845, as I say, the heavy famine years. But this, as I said, tells all the story. You see in the tapestry all the flags of the different states of America around the top. These are the ovals. They're two tapestries, Unity and Threads of Friendship, and they're ovals, whereas the other tapestries are in a square shape. So they're unique in that way, and they're by artist Railton Murphy. Now, they both show central ladies in both of the tapestries. These two ladies are symbolic in Unity, and these two ladies are actually ancestors of the artist. So it's her story really, and then all the symbolism within Ireland and Ireland and USA. So this one shows, say, Ars an Uachtaráin and the White House here, Commodore John Barry up here. You see the little figures that are just faded in the background, St. Mary's Church up here. Then over here we have the Thanksgiving turkey. Then all the little symbolism, the flowers which would be attached to the different states of America. And then you've got, as I said, the two central ladies. And this is the story of, say, Josie, the lady in the purple and gold, which denotes Wexford, from Wexford. And the lady on her right is her niece. And she has the colours of Massachusetts because that's where they settled. And Josie has been the only one of 11 children that has stayed in Ireland. But then she gets a letter from her niece, her youngest brother's child in America, and she says she'd love to come and visit and see the homes her father always talked about. And so Josie's delighted to hear that some member of her family is coming to visit, because in those days, of course, it took 6 weeks on a ship to come from America, and people had families and they just couldn't afford to come, and it wasn't a normal thing like today someone would fly in. These were different times in Ireland. 6 weeks for a letter to come from America. So on the ground here you have all the different names on the grass here, and in the sky you have all the different names of the people who travelled to America over the years, and people love to look and see can they find their name there, people that visit. And then under the Bridge of Friendship, which in both tapestries we have the Bridge of Friendship, under the Bridge of Friendship here you have the lighthouse at 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙤, which of course was built in the 13th century, so that would have been there in famine times, and it would be a symbol of the last thing the emigrants would see. They would take ship here, say on the Dumbrody, go down by the Hook and out, and that would be the last thing one of the last things they would see of Ireland before they left. Then they would have the arduous journey to America and land in Ellis Island, where they would be examined to see were they physically well enough to join the community. If not, they were put into quarantine for a while and then taken into America.
Hi, I'm Anthony Connick. I'm the chairman of the New Ross St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee.
I'm Oliver Summers, treasurer of the New Ross St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee.
God, there's so many. We've had good and bad ones, but I think the best one for us was probably 2 years ago when we actually dressed up. It was probably the biggest kick for both of us, I suppose.
The whole committee decided that we dress up because it was a pantomime parade. It was based on pantomime, and we said we dress up as well. And I thought it was brilliant. The whole 6 of the committee dressed up, the women and everything like that, and it was brilliant. You know what I mean, like that. But I really enjoyed going along years ago when we had the motorbikes in it and a bit of that. You know what I mean? That was before I really went on the committee. We had the Harleys in it. You know, and you had seen 20 Harleys coming down the street. Everybody liked it, and a bit of roar out and things like that. That was great. It starts in September, actually, the end of September. We'd have our first meeting in September, towards the end of September. And we'd be rolling on then, and both myself and the chairman would be in contact every week. And then we have a committee of 6 altogether, and we'd have a meeting with them every 2 or 3 weeks in September, October, November. And when we get into January, then we'd have a meeting every 2 weeks with everybody. I started in the late 90s, 20 odd years ago, with other people at that time as just a helper and just a hand and giving a hand with it. And then I was asked to come on the committee then that time in 98, 99, anything like that. And then it went from there, you know what I mean. I kept going to the committee, and then we got into it. Some people left and some people retired and some people done their own thing and went away from it. And then we came along, and I'm still there. I like it. I like the bit of involvement.
We'd love more helpers, we'd love more volunteers, because we can make it bigger. That's the big thing, you know. It's to get the people on the day, but it's the buzz for me is organising it, and I think I've always been like that. I've always been in the hand of it.
The buzz, I love it on the day now. I love starting off. We'd be up now at 6 o'clock in the morning. We're in town at 7 o'clock, St. Patrick's Day, to start off. The first thing you have to do is the stage, do up the stage, the buzz. And you're a little bit apprehensive to make sure everything is going to be all right. You're hoping everything is all right. Everybody gets into it. And to be fair to all the workers, to be fair to everybody, including the participants, they come along and they do what they're told as well, and they're there on time, and everything goes off. We kick off fairly sharp at 2 o'clock most of the time, and everything goes smooth, and most people are very helpful. You know what I mean? I love the buzz of it. I love the bit of getting together too with the meetings. We meet, when we meet, there'll be only 5 or 6 of us, but we sit down and we have a meeting. We just have a coffee or something like that after we have like that. That's what it is. It's together, the buzz of it. I love the buzz on the day. You know what I mean? It's over, as Anthony has said, it's over in 15 hours from start to finish. God, you're gone home and all at 4 o'clock in the evening. You know, and everything is great then.
I sure look at. I have to be honest with you. The biggest thing I love seeing the kids' face on the day. It's for all the kids, really for me. I just love putting on stuff like that. I've been in many committees, but this one is obviously it's a real working committee. I have to say, the lads are really good. They give us great support, but it's the kids, it's the enjoyment. Yeah. It's where they come over and tap you and say hello to you, and you know they actually know you by person, by name, and you know you can have good fun with them. You know.
No, I wouldn't be drink oriented at all. It wouldn't be that public house orientation to me at all, but I love the atmosphere. I'd even take the Dublin Parade and I'll look at it that night or the next day or something like that. I love it, and the bit of what they come in on around the country next evening on Nationwide. I love looking at that now and things like that, and then they'll come into America, of course, it's the big one really, the show, but it's in a lot of countries now, you know what I mean, where there's red. I think it's marvellous for Ireland, you know. I know we have our Taoiseach going over and giving the Shamrock, whatever like that, but it's a marvellous, you know, a good holiday and things like that. Now it's only going to be sometimes the middle of the week, it's a bit down for it, but the weekends especially, a weekend Patrick's Day is very good actually for people, you know. But I like it, I like the buzz of it, too.
Yeah, look at it, we're Irish. Every Irish person loves Paddy's Day. They treat it so much different in America. I had the privilege of going in 2014, one of the last years of the town council, and I got the honour of walking in the parade as the representative with the twin city of Hartford in Connecticut, and I always remember, due to the fact that I flew out on the 14th, if I rightly remember, and I was back here organising the parade. I came straight from the airport to the Irish town to start the parade. I was fairly tired, I have to say, but we had a good old laugh. But I'm just saying it was totally different. It's the way they present. They really respect us and our national day. It was a fantastic achievement, and it's something I'll always cherish. And then, as I said, I came back here, and you know, the shamrock on the suit, and you're away with the suit and tie on, and you're walking down as an elected member as well. You know, it's a very nice feeling, I have to say, and I'm proud to be Irish.
I'm Alex Walsh and I'm a teacher in Trad House New Ross. And I'm Ellie Walsh and I'm one of the founders of Trad House New Ross. And what we do basically is we offer traditional Irish music to kids of all ages and adults. We have about 50 plus kids now at the moment. We have roughly 6 teachers. 6 teachers, yeah. 6 teachers, and it's a family run business. So me and Alex were sisters. We also have another sister who teaches for us, Olivia, and then our brother Charlie teaches, and our mum does the administrative side of it. I just kind of like that it's just, you know, like a day that you can just have as much fun as you can. And like, you know, growing up in the parade in New Ross, like we were in for like the 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙘𝙩𝙗 GAA, like you're on the float, and then just to watch it is just something like you only get once a year, so it's just really nice. Jeez, that's a bit of a big question.
It's a loaded question.
Well, we've always done music throughout like our lives, be it piano, guitar, anything. I started off with guitar till I was about 14 and then moved on to the fiddle, and that's when we kind of, from that point in all of our lives, we were all kind of picking up trad music. So I was fiddle, we were doing whistles in school, you kind of took to the tin whistle as well. Yeah. And then our brother started mandolin, moved on to banjo, and then our sister, she just kind of, she does 3, piano, but accordion, harp as well. Yeah. So it's always kind of been there, really. I think it's more because it's a family. And our grandparents. Our grandparents play as well, so they are originally from Kerry, but they live in England at the moment. So even when we were like 4 or 5, they used to hold sessions in their house. So our grandma's one of 8, and there'd be at least 6 or 7 of them over, and it'd just be like trad, like in your face, that and dancing. So it was kind of, it's more like a family thing, music. That's what it means to us.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Lady luck, won't you sit with me? Lay your head and rest your feet. I haven't seen you for a while. Well, mine haven't changed. Same old lady, same old face. Oh, the stories I could tell, the things that I've been through. I won't bore, I'll lean on you. I guess that I just need a friend on these lonely, 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 lonely days. On these lonely, 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 lonely. You wear the road so well, long lost friend, you're looking swell. So glad that you should go, 'cause I've been feeling blue. Thought I'd lost a friend in you. I'm glad that I was wrong. And on those lonely days, the only thing that shines is rain. I hope to see your smiling face on these lonely, 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 lonely days. On these lonely, 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 lonely. But when you never come, wonder what it is I've done that should make you stay away. But every now and then you look me up and you walk right in. I feel so insecure. So now I say goodbye. Guess it's time for you to fly. I'm glad you came around on these lonely, 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 lonely days. On these lonely, 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 lonely days. These are lonely, 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 lonely days.
On behalf of the two bands, New Rosslyn District and the FCA band, we'd like to wish everybody a very, very happy St. Patrick's Day, and hope you're all back around to play outdoors together next year.
We'll see you all next year, guys.
Go on, be gone, be gone! I'm baiting the last of them snakes out of Ireland. It's a tough job being St. Patrick. Oh, but anyway, we've come to the end, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We'd like to thank all the entertainers. We'd like to thank all the people involved, the storytellers, everybody who gave up their time for this amazing, amazing St. Patrick's Day broadcast. we've come to the very end, and I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for staying tuned in and tuning in. We're going to leave you with Trilogy, and they're singing one of the best songs from U2. It's called One.
Is it getting better? Or do you feel the same? Did I make it easier on you now? You got someone to blame. You say one love, one life, but it's one need in the night. One love, you get your sharing, leaves you begging if you don't care for it.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from all and coffee in Central Campile.
Hi lads, just to say happy St. Patrick's Day from myself, David, and all the lads here, David Quigley always.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from all at M&A stores.
Did I disappoint
Happy St. Patrick's Day from all Macaulay, South Street, New Ross.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from Bridget Season Tea.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from everybody here at the Bakehouse to everyone near and far.
On behalf of Macaulay,
we'd like to wish you all a happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day from all in Harry Lily.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from everyone here at Henry Hayes, Campile.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from all at Dylan's London.
From all at Booties and my hair salon, we wish you all a happy Patrick's Day.
From all at the Nutshell here on South Street, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from Tech Hub. From all at Wallace Mobile Homes, wishing you and yours a very happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from New Ross. Happy St. Patrick's Day from Barrow Office Supplies.
Happy
St. Patrick's Day from everybody in Abigail's Gifts and everyone in your Ross. Happy St. Patrick's Day from all in Urban Gym.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody, all our customers. Thank you.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from everyone and Hanley's local pharmacy in Europe.
On behalf of myself here at McDonald's and all my staff from here in the shop and from Bonita Boutique, I'd like to wish all my customers and friends a very happy St. Patrick's Day.
Just want to wish everyone, on behalf of myself and Peg from Carrie's Creations, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from everybody here at Butcher's Best New Ross.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from everybody in Central.
Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day from F1 New Ross.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from all at Annaferla. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody in New Ross and further afield from Campbell's New Ross. Happy St. Patrick's Day from all in Christie's Dry Cleaners.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from all of us at the Brandon House Hotel.
Happy St. Patrick's Day 2021 from Brownsford Top.
Holding on to what you've got when all you got is hurt. One love, one blood, one life. You've got to do what you should. One life with each other, sisters, brothers. One love, but we're not the same. We get to carry each other, carry each other. One love, one love, one love, one.
Brought to you in association with our partners Wexford Cocoa, Creative Ireland and Visit New Ross.